It is May 19th, 2018. We're here at 17485 Fransisco Drive in San Diego, California, 92127. We're going to go ahead and inspect the main sewer line. We're here over the hall bathroom. We did not see any perimeter cleanouts. We did see a cleanout cap possibly covered up with some rocks and a brick walkway over in front of the garage entrance in the backyard. But we didn't have a chance to dig it up, so we're going through the roof vent here. You can see the DWV copper original vent turns into cast iron pipe. So we're now inside original cast iron pipe here. And here we're making the transition from the vertical vent into the horizontal where the toilet is dumped into the system. So this is all original cast iron pipe. Now, if that is a clean out in the backyard, then this sewer lateral may be running towards Bernardo Oaks Drive and not towards the front of the house, which is Fransisco, the actual street address. We did notice that the water pipe comes in from the cross street, so it's possible that's also where the sewer is headed. And back up for just a second here. See if that was a T-junction. So far the cast iron does look good, fully functional, and very little deposits or buildup inside the pipe. We don't see a lot of scaling or anything like that yet, which is the metal starting to flake or fall apart, also just due to buildup. Looks like we've got a T-junction right there. See a little dental floss hanging down from the line there. Okay, looks like we've got a bunch of paper and debris kind of bunched up here in the line. We're going to try to push through this or ride over the top to see what's going on here. Might just be some buildup. Yeah, looks like it's just some buildup that hasn't flushed or made its way down the line. So that's right at about that 50-foot mark on our push counter. We'll check that out on the way back again. Sometimes with the ultra low flow toilets that we have to use now in rough cast iron pipe, you can see these couple undulations here. So we've got a little bit of buildup on the bottom of the line, and then just in a little spot you can see this standing water. So that's what happens when the line, not that it doesn't have good downhill proper slope, it's that there'll be some buildup or deposits in the cast iron, and that'll create a little damming effect that creates these miniature little pools or puddles, and that'll again also slow down toilet paper and feces trying to move down the line. And with the ultra low flow toilets, just not a lot of water sometimes to move it down. Okay, here it appears we have an ABS transition, and this is probably that clean out that we may have noticed covered up by the little rock cut out from the brick. So we can definitely see that we have a T-junctions there, and then it goes back to cast iron pipe. We're going to pull back a little bit slowly here. So there is definitely our clean outs right there. And you can see there's a sweep right there. And then there's another one on the other side. So we'll come back and locate that. But we're going to continue down the line right here while we're inside the system. We're back into the cast iron pipe there. Again, a little bit of deposits on the bottom of the line, so we're getting these little pockets or puddles of water here and there. Could be why somebody put those cleanouts in, because those again are not original. So you can see that little puddle of water. That's going to hold everything up. And then we come to the end of it, and we have a little upward undulation from all that buildup and deposits here. Standing water, again, not great for the cast iron because it will cause it to corrode out a little bit faster over time. So you can see we have another big little pocket or pooling of water there. So my guess is that that's why somebody probably paid to put those cleanouts in, is because they might have been getting some stoppages here and there through all these little areas of buildup, and might have led to some stoppages. And without any cleanouts, there was no way to snake this out without going up on the rooftop or pulling a toilet. So same thing, some buildup and scale on the bottom there. See another little big dammed up little area, all these little pools of water. Here we've got a turn on the line. Still all cast iron original. Okay, now we're at the property line cleanout. So this horizontal line here is coming to a T-junction. So that's where we're at right here. It goes up for the original property line cleanout. This may or may not have been brought to surface. We will locate it. And then it will make a downward turn here. So you can see now we're going down. Let's see how far we can get. And then it's going to come to the bottom and then recorrect back to horizontal again. And then here it's transitioning into clay pipe. So this is pretty typical. Now we've made a couple 90-degree turns in a row here, and so we're going to try to run some water to see if we can get a little bit further out, and then we'll pull back if we can't and see if we can locate the property line clean out to see if that has been brought to surface, where we can continue the rest of the way across this clay pipe and across. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and show this while we're recording. We've got a bunch of water running through the system right now, and unfortunately, again, because of those couple 90-degree turns, we're not going to be able to push out from where we're at, which is almost 100 feet away, through these couple 90s and farther down the clay pipe. So you can see we can get just past there, but we need to continue down. Hopefully, if we can get access to one of those clean outs to confirm there's no roots in the clay pipe in the street here. So what we're going to do now is pull back the camera. We're going to pull back to the property line clean out that we found. Forward again a little bit here. Okay, here's our clean out. So this is our property line clean out. So we're going to go ahead and pause and locate where this is at on the property. Okay, we've gone ahead and located this clean out, and this original property line clean out is on the hillside towards Bernardo Oaks. So the sewer line is running towards Bernardo Oaks, and this T-junction that's underground, the pipe right here we're in, is only about 19 inches deep where it's at on the hillside. It's about 12 feet before you get to the sidewalk, and if you're standing on the sidewalk looking back towards the house, there's a water meter. It's about 4 feet to the right. Now we went ahead and put in a green flag in the ground at the spot that our camera's at. We marked it with the words PLCO, and that means property line cleanout, and 19 inches deep. So we have that marked on the property. So if we can pull back and find the other cleanouts that were installed and get through there, we may be able to get into the clay pipe. If we cannot, then in the future we recommend this cleanout possibly being brought to surface, so that if there are roots or any other maintenance that needs to be done, they can be done from that cleanout access point, which can be brought to surface. So we're now going to go ahead and pull back our camera to the ABS cleanouts that we saw, and we're going to see if we can get access to those where they're at on the property. There's that little turn. So again, you can see all that little bit of water that just hangs out in a bunch of the areas, and There's a big ball of debris right there that moved down the line. That might have been that one spot where we had all that backed up paper and feces, we're guessing. Some of that material just can't roll down the system when you got all that buildup on the bottom of the pipe, creating these little, what we call sags or bellies, but little puddles of water hanging out. Sometimes that can be cleaned up via hydrojetting, but usually they want access to the end of the line, which would be that property line clean out, so they can drag it and come in reverse. Now here's our clean outs. So there's the ABS plastic pipe. So we're going to push forward here just a little bit, because this connection right here, the first fitting, is the one that sweeps away towards the house that we're underneath right now. So we're going to pause the video again to locate this. Okay, we did go ahead and locate this, and this is in the little patio back area behind the garage, and we did see that there was one area of brick cut out with a couple rocks, so we are going to go ahead and try to dig that out to get down through here. Now again, as we continue down the line, this is the second fitting, so I know it's kind of hard to see because everything is black, but there's a second clean out afterward that sweeps back into the house. That one has no cutouts in the paving stones that are there on the property, so they buried this other clean out that's after this spot. So, but the one that sweeps away from the house, the way it should be set up, we are going to go ahead and try to expose that. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video and move our equipment down there. Okay, so we've moved down here into the backyard, and off this, again, patio area, recreational barbecue area. Here's where we found the buried clean out. So you can see there was a big rock over here with this cutout, and we had to remove all that dirt. So we've unscrewed the plug most of the way, and so we now have access to this 3-inch. We can see a couple wear indicator marks right there, those little circular chewed out pieces. So it could be from a camera inspection, but these little circular indentations are usually where a cable has had to ride through. So again, we know they put these cleanouts in aftermarket, so it's done for a reason. Either had stoppages or had a few times. So here we're sweeping into the line. So we got a little bit of debris on our camera face. There we go. So there's the other turn right there on the line. So you can see as we drop the camera, and that's the other fitting that's sweeping back the other way. So you can see the circular pipe, and right above it's a little black indentation with a line across it. That's the other sweep. So again, that's buried under another one of the bricks. Those would have to be pulled up so that you could access that, and that would allow you to snake from that clean out back into the house if there was ever a stoppage. This one only allows you to snake away from the house. So this part of the pipe we've already seen. So we're pushing down here. Now we have a little bit heavier duty camera this time. We'll see if that's going to help us to get through those turns, or we have to switch back. Here's that big ball of debris and feces we passed earlier that was kind of stuck in the line, just didn't move down even with all the water we had. Now here's that small turn, and then we'll be coming up to the property line. We're just going to move quickly. So here's the property line clean out. So you can see a little bit better here with this camera with the centering guide we were able to put on rather than through the vent pipe where we couldn't do that. So there you can see the T-fitting, and it goes up and down. The up is the buried clean out that we marked on the hillside with the green flag. Now we're going to make this downward turn, and hopefully we can continue across this clay pipe for quite a distance here to get the rest of this inspected. Kind of hanging up a little bit again, just typical with the 90-degree elbows. So what we're going to do is we're going to run some water first, and if we have to, we'll try our other camera, but we're going to pause the video for a second. Okay, so this push rod's a little bit stiffer, and it actually is hanging up on these 290s, not allowing us to get through there. So even with the water running, so we're going to move back to another camera that we have to try to see if we can make those couple turns a little bit smoother and easier. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video and pull this back. Okay, we now have another camera, We're going to go ahead and see if we can get into the clay pipe with this one here. We do have some other ones we can try as well, but we're going to try with this one first. So we're going to push through this rapidly here just to get out to where we were at. We're going to turn the bar sink water on again we had running. Okay, here's the property line clean out. Here's our first turn. Here's the bottom 90. Still kind of sticking a little bit. We're going to wait till the water comes by, and then if not, we'll try the third camera. So we're going to pause the video for a minute while we wait the water to get there. Okay, we now have our third camera that's going to try to get through here through the clay pipe. It's a specially modified camera with 2 different push rods that will hopefully allow the flexibility but toughness to get through this. So coming up on the turn, here's that ball of debris in the system. Turn our water on. Our camera's head's a little bit clogged up from that feces all backed up in the pipe. Okay, we're right at the bottom 90s. You can see right there again. So now let's see if we can push this through. Back it up for a second and wait till our water comes down through the system here. There we go. We just got through that part of the system, at least part of it that we wanted. So
I'm so sorry that I didn't notice that you were there. I covered that up.
okay, we're going to go ahead and pause the water for a second here. We can see we have a very large root intrusion in the line. It's blocking a majority of the pipe right here. We couldn't get our camera much past this point, so we're going to wait till the water subsides and then we'll go ahead and show this. So we're going to pause the video for a second. Okay, so we're here again. We've got the water running just a little bit. It's finishing up, and you can see our roots blocking about 85% of the pipe. So this needs some immediate maintenance. Does not need to be dug up or repaired, but the property line clean out we marked needs to be exposed so that access to a 4-inch pipe can be done, and then hydrojetted and or snaked with an expansion cutter to rip these out. Now we're going to see if we can get lucky and get by this. It's so thick we can barely get our camera through here. Here we go. We're going to see if we can get to any more sections. There's the next intersection. That's clear. And here's our 8 feet away. We have another very large root intrusion blocking approximately just under about 50% of the pipe. So this is the second root intrusion. And this one, again, is on the whole left and bottom side. So we're going to take another photo of this. So this is 8 feet away from the first intrusion. Now we're going to see if we can get by that. There we go. Coming up, there's a very small root intrusion there in the upper left. Very minor, nothing to worry about that one. And that's about all we're going to get right here. So we're not going to be able to get further past that really large intrusion. It's holding up our secondary spring on here. So we know we've got those 2 really bad root intrusions again, and so those need to be maintained and cleaned up. And so we're going to go ahead and pull back our cable now.
Yeah, it's pretty common with
So there's the really larger one at about 50%, and then as we back up here, 8 feet back, we'll be passing the one that's very extremely thick right there. So it's blocking the majority of the pipe. We've kind of opened up the bottom a little bit just from our camera going through. That little bottom opening wasn't there until we got our camera to push through. So again, that's about a 3/4 inch opening there, and then one on the upper left, maybe about 3/4 inch as well. So that concludes this recording.